Today is Super Bowl Sunday. Sunday, February 12th, year 2023. It's Super Bowl Sunday. It's raining here. And my co-hosts are here just having a happy good time. They didn't eat breakfast. They biting each other. They fighting. Yeah. Oh, Lordy. Okay, you can get out. It is Sunday, February the 12th. All right, Super Bowl Sunday. All right, so listen. We'll get down. Down. Once y'all want it down, get down. Go somewhere. Yeah, beat it. Wow. So there's a good article in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution that talks about how corporate investors have purchased all these homes in black neighborhoods. All these houses. Thousands and thousands of houses purchased in black neighborhoods, forcing black people out of these communities. Thousands of houses and making it impossible for black people in these black communities, South communities in various cities. Particularly this article is about Atlanta. So it talks about how Atlanta had this issue with these investors buying houses dating back to the housing collapse of 2008. So because they purchased all these houses and continue to purchase them in these communities, other blacks are not able to buy homes in those areas. Might be a good thing. I'll tell you something. I've been in real estate for a long time. You do not want to buy a home in an area with a lot of renters. These corporations that have purchased these houses, y'all don't buy those neighborhoods. Do your homework. All those rental homes that they've purchased in these various areas, do not buy in those areas, because you're going to be stuck with a bunch of renters who don't maintain those houses, who don't have a stake in those homes or those communities because they're renting. You never want to live in. You never want to purchase a home in these areas. Okay. Are there homes to purchase in the state of Georgia? Of course, there are thousands of homes. You don't have to live in these areas. That's the thing I don't like about black folks. We seem to congregate in this one area. I'm going to College Park. I'm going to Stonecrest. I'm going to Lithonia. Why? There's so many other places you can move to. So many other places where you can purchase homes at. You don't have to be all in the same, out in there together in these ghettos, which is what they're going to turn into. I wouldn't buy a home in any area where there are vast majority. And here's the funny part. When I purchased this home, okay, wait a minute. Y'all need to get out from over here. When I purchased this home, I made sure to do my research to see how many rental homes were in this neighborhood. 0. Or maybe I think a couple of streets over there's one house. There's one house that they, but on my street there are no rentals over here, no corporate owned rentals. None. So for me, anybody with a brain, do not purchase a home in an area where corporations own the vast majority of homes or someplace else. And besides, I know how I feel about Atlanta any damn way in these black neighborhoods. They're disasters. I just had a friend who was shot and killed at Wells Fargo Old National Highway. Y'all know how many people have been shot and killed on Old National Highway or in the vicinity in the past 12 to 24 months? Oh, Lord, we be here all day counting bodies. I'm not sure what happened at the Wells Fargo Bank. This happened Friday night here in Atlanta. Friday, not night, during the daytime. At Wells Fargo, I don't know. They're not releasing the details. But it was a young man who was killed, shot and killed in that, either in the Wells Fargo Bank or the parking lot. They haven't released the details. Why? I'm not sure. So maybe they're still doing the investigation. Well, side note, so many gay guys think coming to Atlanta is safe. Would you all believe over the past few years how many black gay men have been shot and killed? Because we're no different than anybody else. We're still victims of gun violence in the city too. I can count on my hand at least 15, maybe 20, maybe more in the last 12 to 24 months, maybe more if I really stop and think. I'm just at the top of my head. People I know were shot and killed, gay guys, minding their business in Atlanta, going on about life. Some with some domestic violence issues too. There were a couple of domestic violence issues. They didn't got my damn shirt. Hold on a second. Give me that shirt. Give me that. I had a sweatshirt on when I took him outside. It was cold out there. It was hot in here. Now I'm sitting here drinking this coffee and grab my shirt off the damn table. Y'all know who it was. It was this one. This guy. This motherfucker. Why? Why can't y'all just be good doggies and go play around? Why, Ginger? Why? Why can't y'all just go? I'm gonna have to. See, it's raining outside. Y'all hear that rain? I don't know if y'all can hear it. I can't put them out there on the porch. Because it's raining. But anyway, yeah, Atlanta ain't been good to me. Look, a friend of mine named Edgar was buried yesterday. He was shot and killed out of hair salon about 2 weeks, a week and a half ago, 2 weeks. I'm not exactly sure what is going on with about all these guys. I mean, it's just, it's just really no different than anybody else. People run to Atlanta. Okay, I gotta back on somebody else. But everybody won't be in Atlanta. Don't know why. But let me look at this article. This article in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, The American Dream for Rent. And it goes into great detail as to why all these homes were purchased. They have a map to show you the homes, the companies. It's a very long article where both buyers have purchased homes in Metro Atlanta. They have accumulated more than 65,000 single-family homes in Atlanta. Armed with billions of cash, both buyers have accumulated more than 65,000 single-family homes across the Atlanta metro area over the last decade. 11 companies own more than 1,000 homes each. The two largest, Invitation Home and Progress Residential, own more than 10,000 homes apiece. Most of the homes are they're scattered all over Atlanta. But they're everywhere, truthfully. They're all over the city, except for inside the core of the city, because the shit's so damn hot down there. Ain't buying that expensive shit. In July of 2021, investors bought 1 out of every 3 homes for sale in Metro Atlanta. This is why. There's another issue. This is why I like dealing with these real estate agents. They're so greedy. They're so greedy. Great, Ginger. Ginger, come here, Ginger. Ginger. Hold on a minute, Joe. I'm so sick of these nuts. Come here, Ginger. Leave that cord alone. Show it. Chewing on this damn cord. I would say look at the article in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. I'll post the link so you can read it. And they sort of tried one home that was foreclosed. It sold for $40-something thousand, and the last sold for $189,500. And each time it changed hands, it was owned by it was owned by some type of corporate investors. They're the ones pushing these prices up because they keep buying these houses. All right, so this one woman, she complains she was renting a house and the air conditioning unit stopped working shortly after some other company bought her rental. Some company named Vibra purchased the rental she was living in. She says her emails and phone calls were ignored for months. Even when record break in June, ain't no way in hell I lived in a house where for months they ignored her. Now she's still paying her rent. Eventually, Loman and her daughter moved to a hotel to escape the deadly heat. With this company, there's no human beings, not any people with names, at least that you can contact. We're merely a vehicle for profits. Vine Book officials declined to be interviewed for the story. In a statement, a spokesperson described the company as part of the solution to meet the growing demand for rental. Yeah, they won't fix the houses, though. I wonder if she ever get the air conditioning fixed in the house. Take months for them to respond. 100-degree heat. I think I would have went on paid to fix the shit myself and just deducted from the rent and went to court with them. That's what I would have done. All these damn. Ultimately, All right. Raw sewage spilled for months from a Kennesaw home into a nearby creek. Faulty wiring in a Stockbridge home sparked an electrical fire in the dead of the night, forcing a frightened family to evacuate. A Florida family lost most of their $1,800 security deposit after abandoning a move-in ready Decatur rental that had no water or heat, active gas, and carbon monoxide leaks in a mold infestation. Whew. Yeah. Brian Morris, the code enforcement director for the city of South Fulton, said it took over a year to get someone at Progress Residential to respond to complaints about trash and overgrown grass violation. Wow. That's why you do not want to purchase any home in any area that's predominantly owned by real estate investors who rent those properties out. They don't care about the area. They don't care about the house. They don't give a shit about nothing. They don't care about shit. After her air conditioning died last May, months went by without a response from Vinebrook. I would have just fixed it myself and just deducted from my rent. Lohman researched her rights as a renter and notified the company that she would make the repairs herself and deduct it from her rent, which she could have done. She filed a code enforcement complaint July 7th, and the city of Stonecrest confirmed 2 violations. Meanwhile, the hot days on Salem Trail dragged on. Mold invaded the home, looming throughout ruined clothes, furniture, and kitchen utensils. One Vinebrook contractor tried to install a gas-powered air unit, only to realize the house doesn't have gas hookup. What the hell? She's prepared a speech for Stonecrest Municipal Court, which she hoped to convince the judge the only way to hold a corporate giant like Vinebrook accountable was to levy a maximum fine under Georgia law. It's $1,000 a day, and they started May 2nd. It's accrued since then, so we're already at $180,000 at this point, or $90,000 per violation. That afternoon, Vinebrook finally replaced her air conditioner 98 days after it broke, but she said the company never addressed the mold. On September 6th, the judge kicked her off the Zoom call and turned her watch on YouTube. Tenants aren't allowed to testify against the homeowner during code enforcement hearings, the homeowner was told. A company representative asked for a delay, and the judge agreed. Portfolio manager Martin Bureau said he hasn't been notified of the hearing in time to get an attorney. Well, there's a lot of drama. So they finally pleaded no contest to the true charge and paid a $500 fine. The consequences for Lomas were far worse. She spent $2,200 on hotels and portable air conditioning. She should just pay the air conditioning and been done with it, and then deduct it from the rent. When she tried to deduct the repairs from the rent, Vinebrook's online portal wouldn't accept a penny less than full amount. You go to court for that. So on the same day a contractor fixed her air conditioning, Vinebrook threatened to evict her if she didn't vacate the home. Since then, she spent close to $4,000 to hire an attorney wiping out. What would you need $4,000 for? Handle this in court like anybody else. You just show your day pay. You don't need an attorney for this. Well, I don't know. I would not be renting these houses from these raggedy ass companies. When Natasha Downey moved to Georgia from the Indianapolis suburbs in 2021, these are all issues in this article. She and her fiance put down offers on 3 homes in Henry County. We had a down payment, but every time it was like, oh, well, sorry, the owner decided to go to cash offer. It's a story that's played out over and over during the pandemic. Real estate agents told the AJC, and it's not just that investors have more money. They just want the cash. They offer all cash and a fast close without the risk of a mortgage falling through at the appraisal stage that can be for traditional buyers. Most likely rely on heavy debt. But most still rely heavily on debt to generate enormous sums before buying, and they often borrow at lower cost than the individual, so they're still taking out loans. And this is interesting. In November 2018, Vinebrook borrowed $241 million through Freddie Mac with an adjustable interest rate. Thanks to the backing of the government-sponsored loan buyer, Vinebrook's rate was 1.6% in March 2021. The average individual mortgage rate at the time was 3%, so they got $240 million for 1.6%. Wow. The corporation did. The U.S. government gave them the money. Many firms buy sight unseen and can waive inspections. Zillow puts in bids faster than any human possibly could, even with a good broker. They then flip them again at markup. Well, again, y'all better understand something. If you are looking to buy a home, this article is telling you where these houses are. This article is telling you exactly where they're located at. And I'll tell you something, I would not buy a home in an area owned by a large group of investors. The neighborhood will be slum because they're not going to take care of those houses. So you live on the street where the vast majority of homes up and down the street are owned by investment companies. That's not a good idea. You cutting your grass, you pressure washing your house, you doing all the repairs that a homeowner should do to their home, like I'm doing over here to this raggedy ass. But these other companies, they're not doing that. They ain't doing that. They just collecting rent. They don't care about these houses. They can't afford to go in there and fix up all these houses and put in new kitchens and bathrooms and plumbing and electrical. They don't give a shit. Do not buy in those areas. You will regret that. You got to go someplace else. You got to do your research. Find out who owns the house on the street. It's not hard to find out who owns these companies, what companies own what. You can just look it up on the internet. But then this goes back to what I'm saying about these large urban cities that black folks seem to be just loving going to for some odd reason. For some reason, black folks are loving going to these urban cities, and I don't know why. Why are y'all loving these damn urban ass cities? They don't offer you nothing but crime, bad schools, shootings, horrible what? Y'all gotta figure somewhere else to go. Flocking into these urban cities with these low-wage jobs, criminal element, high-ass rents, no available houses to purchase. What's the benefit? I'm in Atlanta. Okay, you're here now. Now what? Didn't y'all see what they lured this Fulton County sheriff, not get over here, Fulton County we lured a young man from Alabama or Mississippi to be a Fulton County sheriff here. He was shot and killed on his way home, driving. They don't know if he's coming from work or whatever. His second job, who knows? If that man stayed where he was, he'd be alive now. But he came to Atlanta and he was driving on a down, I can't think of it. I want to say Hollywood Road, but I'm not too sure it was Hollywood. Somewhere in the ghetto. You know, driving that street and he got shot and killed that early in the morning. I'm not sure. You all seem to think going to these urban cities is going to a paradise, and it ain't. High rents, high crime, a risk of getting shot and killed while you at Wells Fargo Bank doing God knows. What was this guy gets shot at Wells Fargo? What was he doing? Just in there working? They haven't said was he at the ATM. No, nobody said anything. The police are being real quiet about this investigation. You know, for many reasons, they might have a suspect in mind, and you know, they're doing their work. Y'all, I don't go to these banks. I don't go to these ATMs. And I damn sure ain't stopping at no bank or gas station in the fucking on Old National Highway in the goddamn ghetto. The devil is a lie. I'm not going into no ghetto, no ATM. The only way I might use the ATM is if I'm walking into Publix. You know, Publix has ATMs inside the machine, or Kroger. But I really don't need an ATM machine. I have my debit cards and credit cards. I got about 10 of them, Apple Card, all this shit. And I'll use my phone, whatever. Very rare I need cash. If I do need cash, then maybe I need to go to the bank. And y'all, you listen to me. There are reasonably priced homes in the state of Georgia. Just get out the city. Get out of the Atlanta metropolitan area. Get out of here. I have a friend out in Macon selling these beautiful homes, $200,000. Gorgeous, new every damn thing. I'm like, damn. He's telling them. I'm like, whoa. Beautiful, renovated, new every damn thing. Under 200. But y'all keep coming to Atlanta. We gonna be in Atlanta. Why? You got remote work from home. There are plenty of jobs available all over in various places. The schools are crap here. I know you breeding you damn Negroes love children. I don't know why. We gonna have children. Somebody just told me today I'm gonna have two more kids. He already going through hell with the one child he got by some woman he got pregnant. They would never marry. He going through hell on earth raising that young man, fighting with her, going back and forth to court and all this shit. He said, I want 2 more kids. I'm thinking, you ain't learned shit yet? How you plotting and planning to have 2 more kids and you ain't married to nobody? Craziest shit I ever heard. That's how y'all black folks think. I'm gonna have me 8 children. I'm gonna have children. And y'all don't give a fuck about no damn marriage and family unit and safe neighborhoods and good schools. Y'all just don't give a damn. Me having children. Please. The least thing on my mind is trying to bring any children into. I wouldn't raise no child in the Atlanta area or any urban metropolitan city for that matter. Ain't no way in hell. Unless you got thousands of dollars to protect your child and shuffle them around that city without them having to be exposed to this horrible element in these damn cities. But I ain't having no children, so that's the least of my concerns. Unfortunately, I got to live around y'all heathen-ass children when they go wild. Very interesting article. I just think it's a sad predicament that we just follow each other off a cliff. It's a beautiful big country out there. Glad some of my cousins are doing extremely well, and they all had to leave Atlanta. They grew up here, they went to college, but they all had to leave. They realized there was no money here, no opportunities, and they had to leave if they wanted to make it. They said they came there, and they all left. All of them. Now, my nieces and nephews, raised with my sisters, they ain't went nowhere. They all sitting right here suffering the consequences of staying here. I have a friend who lives out. He does welding work. He's somewhere, I want to say Nebraska or Utah. I need to ask him a message. He's constantly moving around. This man is making a killing. A killing. The amount of money he makes doing these jobs, he said when he come back to Atlanta, he come back here because he has a house here. He said he flies in town, flies right back out. He said shit. He just hold on to that house. But he said when he retired, he's already then purchased a condo down in the Miami area. I said, you need to sell that house in Atlanta, you know how this shit is high. And so these investment companies can get on out of there since they want that shit that bad. So many other amazing opportunities in other places. So many places you can go. I've heard so much positive stuff about Huntsville, Alabama. I've heard from my own family members and friends a lot of positive stuff about Huntsville, Alabama, without the issues here that you have here in Atlanta. Opportunity to buy a home, live in a nice city. Big lights, big city, big problems, y'all. Leave that shit alone. But hey. I have a friend who was renting an apartment. He rented this expensive-ass apartment. Well, he rented an apartment. I did a video about this. He rented an apartment for $3,000, $3,500 a month, $8,200. Something happened. He had to move out that building a month or 2 into the lease. Something happened. He moved to another building across the street. He literally told me, well, I jumped from the pot right into the fire. I said, why didn't you just leave that area? Why did you stay down there in Midtown? You see what's going on in these buildings. You left one building thinking one across the street going to be better? Okay, no. The element is there. But I really did my research on this building. I said, obviously, somebody tricked you in there now. He's like, man, I got to get out of here too. I said, you must really like moving. Why don't you just buy a house? You paying all that. His rent is higher than my mortgage payment. Why don't you just buy a house and be done with that? I like living in the city. You done been robbed, shot, your son, you lost 2 sons in these urban environments. When y'all give this shit up? I grew up in the ghetto. Don't mean you got to stay in the ghetto. Right? When people make that comment, well, I grew up in an environment. Well, at some point in time, it's time to move on from environments. You don't have to stay there, especially when you can afford to do better. You do better, go do something better with your life. And he also knows, I want to have a daughter. I want to have a baby. You 50-something years of age. You already had a bunch of kids. 2 of them are dead. 1 died in federal prison. I think he lost 3 sons. Died in these streets, shot. Something happened. 1 was killed in federal prison. I do know that much. And he's like, I want to have a daughter. I'm thinking, okay, you ain't learned nothing of that either. You're not married to nobody. You're not planning on getting married to anyone. It just makes you wonder about niggas and their fucking bullshit. And you ignorant women lay up with these men and bring these children into this world by the man that ain't, and no marriage ring, no commitment, no nothing. Just a disaster. It's like, okay, when does common sense kick in and say, I'm not doing this? You need to commit to me and this child. Having these kids by these men who really don't want to do nothing, have nothing to do with these children after they brought into the world. I don't have much. Black folks must like to struggle. You move into these neighborhoods, you can't even go to a grocery store without risking getting shot. You can't go to a bank without getting worry about getting your head blown off. You go into these nightclubs, these black-owned businesses, they dangerous as hell. In these bad areas. Can't go to a nightclub, can't even go pick up a damn pizza without being concerned about somebody carjacking and shooting you. These are very real concerns. Ignore what I'm saying if you want to. You will be the next victim. Some of you all seem to think this is some type of joke for some reason. And you all are not paying attention to... Come here, Ginger. Y'all not paying attention to what's going on. Anyway, she didn't get her own some phone. Oh! Hey! Come here! Come here, Ginger. When I catch your ass, you're gonna be in trouble. Come here, Ginger. Come here. Come here, Ginger. Anyway, let me conclude this video. She can get one of my avocados. Today is Sunday, February 12th, year 2023. I'm out of here. I'm going to post a link to this article. But I got to stop this, and I'll speak to y'all later.